Hi guys! Welcome to my first Insta Live. I am very nervous because I usually teach a studio full of students and obviously I can't see you now. Welcome to my makeshift studio. I hope that you can all see it. If there's any issues or you can't see or hear me, write it in the comments and my husband Jack will run in to try and save the day. I will also show you afterwards the setup that we have here because we couldn't find our apparatus to hold the camera. It's absolute lols. So for anyone that's new to yoga or new to Insta Live, welcome, I am too. I would just give the advice that if you are new to yoga, take this as a beginner's lesson and only take it as far as you need to. Listen to your body. Even in class, I am not in your body, okay? So I ask you to be sensitive to what your body's needs and just take it to the point of like, oh, it's a little bit painful, and then take a step back, okay? Yoga is about breathing. It's about breath and movement. The word yoga literally means to yoke, to unite the breath and the movement at the same time. So to begin, I'm going to do a little bit of breathing work with you to get you to arrive in the studio on your mat. And for your practice today, all you'll need is a mat, a towel, a bit of space, your water bottle if you need it. And I've got some props there that I will be using, but you might not need them. Okay, so thank you all for joining. To begin, just take a comfortable seated position. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm using these, I live next to a fire station, so if I was just speaking to you normally, my camera would just pick up all of the sounds from outside. So, to begin, sit up nice and tall. Your legs can be crossed. You can be kneeling. And just take a few nice deep breaths. Closing the eyes down, sitting up nice and tall through the sitting bones. Hands can be in your lap, on your knees. You can take chin mudra. And just take a few minutes to arrive in the space that you've created in your home today. Let the lower belly be soft. Breathing gently in and out through the nose. Place your hands on your lower belly, keeping the eyes closed. And as you start to breathe a little bit deeper, feel the lower belly and feel it as it expands and then relaxes. Feel it gently rise and fall. Take the fingers up to the outside of the rib cage. Clasp it gently. And feel the breath move as the ribs expand outwards and upwards. Gently breathing in and out through the nose. Slowly take both hands up to heart center. Feel the chest fill with air as it rises to meet your hands. And now take the hands down to rest on the thighs and fill the whole body with air. The chest, the ribs, the lower belly. Then as you exhale, feel the lower belly, the chest, and the ribs. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gently blink open the eyes. So what we've just created there is called 3-part breathing. And it's a really effective trait for anyone who has anxiety, especially in these times, to just sit and breathe and feel the breath move through all 3 points of contact in the body. So now we're going to start our flow. Now we've started to calm down, release a bit of the tension. I know I needed to. I don't know if you did. And we're going to move into our flow. If at any point in the practice you feel uncomfortable, you feel a sharp pain, come down to seated or a child's pose. It's always available. So, to the fun part, let's begin. I'm going to move through a few sun salutations to start. If you can't do anything else in your day and you don't feel like moving, sun salutations are always a good idea. So, to start, sun A, bringing the big toes to touch, slight gap in between the heels. Lift your toes, spread them nice and wide and place them down. You're going to take your right hand to your lower belly, your left hand to your lower back for a little self-assist. As the right hand moves up, the left hand moves down, and there's a slight tuck in the pelvis. We're not tucking completely, and we're not making the back arch and little booty pop. So, just a gentle self-assist there. Hands come beside the body. Your navel moves in and up towards the spine. Gently roll the shoulders down the back. Spine nice and long, like there's a thread coming out from the top of your head. Standing nice and tall. This posture is called mountain pose or Tadasana. It may look like you're just standing there, but in essence, you're actually making everything move really nicely. So from here, we inhale the hands overhead, gazing to the thumbs. Exhale, folding forward, bend the knees if you wish, touching the ground. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands can come to shins, lengthen the spine. Plant the hands, step back to a high plank and pause. From here, you have 2 options for your vinyasa. You inhale to roll forwards, drop the knees, untuck the toes, and then exhale, elbows by the body, lower all the way down to the mat. Push through the toes, lifting the thighs. Inhale, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes, seat to heels, and lift into downward facing dog. Now, if this is your first downward facing dog of the day, or you've never done it before, listen up. You're going to push through all 10 knuckles of the hands. Lift out of the wrists. Turn your armpits into talk to each other. Okay, so we're broadening across the upper back. You're lifting out of the wrist. You can bend the knees as much as you wish. Even my heels don't touch the floor, so don't be too concerned about that. What we are concerned about is the length of the back. So if I'm doing this and I'm sitting here in a nice, awkward downward dog, that's not what we're looking for. So everyone, inhale to bend the knees, and then exhale, push the tailbone to the sky. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale to bend the knees, and then exhale, pushing the tailbone towards the sky, lengthening through the lower back. 1 more time, inhale, drop the knees. And then exhale, pushing the tailbone towards the sky. Look between the hands, step the right foot, then the left foot, and inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gazes high. And then exhale the hands down beside the body. Tadasana, mountain pose. That was sun A. We're going to move through a little bit quicker now with another vinyasa option. Inhale the arms overhead, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, folding forwards, touching the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Plant the hands, step back to a high plank, exhale and pause. You can stay with the option of the bent knees, or you can come with me in chaturanga, full chaturanga. Inhale forwards, and then exhale down halfway only, elbows brushing by ribs. Inhale, upward dog with the thighs off the mat. Peel the chest open and look forward. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the tailbone nice and high, downward facing dog. Breathing here, we inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Look between the hands. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Bend the knees. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up all the way to the sky, gaze high. And then exhale the hands down beside the body. So you choose your vinyasa option where the knees down. Always a good option, especially if you're just starting a practice today. Toes to touch. We go again. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards, touching the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back, exhale. Choose your option. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, down. Inhale, upward facing or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Look between the hands. Step, jump, float to the left of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Gaze is high. And then exhale the hands down beside the body. Great work. So that was Sun A. You also have Sun B, which we're going to move through a little bit slower because Sun A has 9 movements, Sun B has 17. So stay with me, keep breathing. It's the only thing I ask you to do today. And remember, as I said to my friend earlier, I can't see you, so I can't yell at you if you're not doing it. Okay, so toes to touch. We bend the knees, we dip the hips, and we sweep the arms up to Utkatasana chair pose. Utkatasana chair, look down at your toes. If you can't see them, shift the weight back and sink the hips a little bit lower. The tailbone is shooting towards the back of the mat. Your pinkies are turned in towards each other. You're reaching for the sky. And you breathe here, squeezing the inner thighs and the knees together. Inhale. And as you exhale, folding forwards and down, touching the ground, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Plant the hands, step back, exhale. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale the right leg high to the sky. Sweep it through, step it between the hands. Rotate the left heel down 45 degrees. And you inhale, come up to what looks like a high lunge, but is Warrior One. So, Warrior One, you're squaring your hips to the front of the mat. If you need to, bump your back foot out a little bit so you can square your hips further forward. The hands come up, they can touch if you have the range. And you're staring towards the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands, step back to a high plank, and vinyasa, your choice. Lowering down to exhale. Inhale up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Sweep it through, step it between the hands. Rotate your right foot down 45 degrees. And your inhale brings you up, Warrior One. Breathing here. Making sure the hips are square. Your gaze can be straight or it can be up between the hands. They can be clasped. Inhale. Exhale, planting the hands down. Step back to a high plank. Inhale forwards. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Look between the hands, bend knees, step, jump, float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, folding down. Now back to chair pose, bend the knees, dip the hips, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, rise to stand, hands come through heart center. And hands come beside the body. Well done, that was Sun B. We're not going to move through another one of those at the moment. So you can take a sip of water, wipe up your towel, and move through the next part of our flow. So, excuse my sniffing. We're going to move through basically the Ashtanga series. If at any point that doesn't feel right for you, because Ashtanga is quite strict, I'll give you a few options. So, from toes to touch, we're going to step or hop the feet to hip width distance. No further, okay? Hands come to hips. Going to inhale the chest to the sky. And then as you exhale, hinging from the hips, fold forwards and down towards the ground. You're going to collect your big toes with your 2 peace fingers. Wrap them around the big toe. You inhale, lift the chest to a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, folding forwards and down, bending the knees as much as you wish. Elbows come out. And you start to breathe. Virangusasana, this is called. I don't know why, but that's what it's called. You can push down through the big toes on that lock. They call it a Yogi lock. And then you might get some more length in the hamstrings. Now be gentle here. Just slowly warming up through the hips. And you don't want to get too crazy. As I said, bend the knees as much as you wish. And start to breathe. Hollow out the lower belly. If you want a little bit more, you can tense the thighs and you can bend that a little bit more. For 3, for 2, on 1, release the lock of the toes. You're going to slide the entire hand underneath the foot so your toes touch your wrists. Now I know it sounds weird and it might look a bit weird, but slowly place them under there. Your toes just tickle the wrists. Bend the knees as much as you wish in this one. Inhale, halfway lift. Then as you exhale, try and keep the thighs connected to the chest. So if that means you keep the bent leg, you keep the bent leg. And then start to extend. Padahastasana. Breathing here. Maybe giving a little massage to the wrist with the toes if that doesn't freak you out. Hollowing out the lower belly. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. Look forward, lift the toes, release the hands. And then hands come to hips, soften through the knees, and then slowly rolling all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. The head is the last thing to lift. Good. From here, we're going to move into a little triangle flow. So, hop the feet back together. Hands come to prayer. You step back with the right foot. Turn the toes to face the back of your mat. Your left toes turn in. Hands come out to the side. You inhale to reach forward. And then the right hand comes down to the inside of the right leg. The left arm reaches to the ceiling. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. You're trying to reach the arms away from each other and peel the chest towards the sky. If you find that you've collapsed in the waist, I want you to come up a little bit and just find a point that you can find length in both sides of the body and where your gaze can lift to your top hand. Breathing here for 3, for 2, on 1. Look to your bottom foot. Your inhale brings you back up. And then you're going to take a little bit of a longer stance, not too much longer. Bend through the front knee until it's almost parallel with the floor. Your right elbow comes to right knee. Your left hand sweeps down and around and reaches towards the back of the mat. You peel the chest open towards the sky. Your top arm, the palm is facing down. Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. Reach your top hand towards the top corner of the room and press down through the outer edge of the left foot. Now you can stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, you can start to take the bind. The left hand comes down around the bum. The right arm can slowly start to reach under. You can grab hold of anything like the fingertips or the wrist if you can. And then start to peel the chest open towards the sky. Now, staying there, if you'd like a little bit more, keep breathing. You look down at your foot. We're moving into bird of paradise. So this is one of the postures that, if you're new to yoga, just stay with the bind or with the extended side angle. If you'd like a little bit more, hop the left foot forward. I'm going to do it so you can see, otherwise it's a little bit ridiculous. Hop the left foot forward, lift up onto that left foot, and then start to extend the right leg. Now, try and hold your balance, try and stay up straight. And I know it looks really weird, but breathing here for 3, for 2, on 1, slowly lowering it back down. You step the left leg back out, undo the bind, and come back into Parsvakonasana. From there, slowly lifting back up, and then arms come out to warrior 2. Good. From here, we're going to windmill the hands down towards the ground, step back to a high plank, and vinyasa. Inhale forwards, exhale down, inhale upward facing or low cobra, exhale downward facing dog. Good. From here, take 3 nourishing breaths, fill the lower belly. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale. What I want you to do is inhale the left leg high to the sky. Sweep it through, step it between the hands. Might have to help it along. And then inhale up to a high lunge. Good. From here, simply rotate the back heel down and extend the front leg. Arms come out to the side. Inhale, reaching forwards. And then exhale, left hand now comes down to the inside of the left leg. The right arm reaches towards the ceiling. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose, left hand side. Breathing here. Remember, if you're collapsing in the waist, come up a little bit higher and rotate the chest towards the sky. Breathing here. Using every breath to inhale to lengthen and exhale, maybe twist that bit further. Good. Look at the bottom foot. Inhale to come back up. As you exhale, you should have the right length of foot now, bending through the front thigh. Your left elbow comes to left thigh. Your right sweeps down and around, reaches towards the front of the room, palm facing down, and then rotate the chest towards the sky. Pushing down through the outside edge of the right foot, reaching the right hand towards the top corner of the room. You should feel a nice stretch down the right hand side. And again, if you'd like a little bit more, start to take that bind. Right hand comes underneath this time. Left hand reaches underneath that leg. You can start to take the bind. And if you want that little bit more, moving into bird of paradise. Again, have to shuffle around. You take the right foot, you step it forwards. You start to lift onto the right foot. Whoa, even if I can. Lifting up, start to extend the left leg. One side might be better than the other. And breathe for 3, for 2, on 1. Slowly starting to come out. We put the left leg down, step the right leg back, undo the bind, and come back to extended side angle there. Good, looking down at the floor, placing the hands to frame the front foot, step back to downward facing dog. We vinyasa, inhale forwards to a high plank, exhale down, inhale up, tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Taking a few breaths here, reset, inhaling through the nose. Maybe take a big inhale through the nose, open the mouth and sigh it all out. 2 more times, inhale through the nose, exhale, good, 1 more time, 1 more clearing breath, inhale through the nose, and exhale, out through the mouth. Good, look between the hands, bend the knees, step, jump, float to the top of the mat, inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, folding forwards and down. We go out as we came in, which was chair pose, so bend the knees, dip the hips, sweep the arms up, Utkatasana. And then standing tall, hands through heart center, Tardasana. Good. Taking a sip of water, wipe your towel if you need to. I certainly need a sip of water, my mouth is dry. I'm sweating and doing it along with you guys just as much, so whoever thought this was easy, they lied to you. So from here, I'm going to start to move into some floor work, which is why I have my props. I'll show you how to use them as we get down there. But if anyone has any hamstring injuries, then please don't hesitate to pull back when we do these types of exercises because they can be a little bit painful on the old hamstring. Okay? Everyone ready? So, toes to touch. We do another vinyasa, another sun A to get down to the floor. Inhale, the hands overhead, gaze is high. And then exhale, folding forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha. Plant hands, step back to a high plank, exhale. Inhale forwards. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale the right leg high to the sky. Sweep it through, step it to the outside edge of the right hand. Maybe you have to help it along. Drop the back knee, untuck the toe, bow your head. It's a form called lizard. If you'd like a little bit more, you can keep that back leg tucked. And just start to slowly rock backwards and forwards, whether you're on your knee. To start to move into the front of the left hip flexor and the right groin. If you want more and you've got a little prop next to you, like a block or a book, anything, you can start to rest the forearms. If you've got the space, you can come down onto your forearms completely. But that might be a bit much. If you can't hold that and just breathe normally, then maybe just come up to the hands. Good. From here, if your knee's starting to hurt, by the way, just roll the mat under or grab a towel or something. Start to slowly shift the weight back. This is where blocks and stuff come in handy. If you don't have them, don't worry, but I'm going to use them because I have them. Wiggle the front foot forward and then flex the toes back towards your face. Ardha Hanumanasana. If you have full splits and you know what I'm talking about, then please move into that. But if, like the rest of us, you're just blessed with really, really tight hamstrings and hips, then just stay here. So making sure the knee is like above the hips. And then slowly and surely start to bend forward. Pressing the heel into the ground and pull it towards you, you should start to feel a really juicy stretch into that hamstring. Breathing here. Breathe into any areas of tightness. I know some of you are cursing me right now, going, absolutely not. Devil woman. Good. Slowly start to bring that foot back in. Place the hands and frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, and sweep the right leg back and up. Good, placing that foot down. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Sweep it through, step into the outside edge of the left hand. Dropping the back knee, untuck the toes, bow your head. And again, you might be different on each side, we're not symmetrical. And the hips hold a lot of tension. They're an emotional center of the body. Maybe starting to wiggle side to side, sometimes that feels nice. Maybe coming down onto those elbows like we spoke about. Breathing here. Good. Slowly start to come up if you're not on your elbows. And then shift the weight back. Maybe wiggle the front foot forward and flex the toes towards your face. Grabbing bricks if you have them or need them. And then slowly starting to bend forward over that leg. Good. Breathing into any areas of tightness. I know my left hamstring still can be an absolute wally and I hate it, but if we don't do both sides, we will become very asymmetrical very quickly. So pushing that left heel down into the mat, bringing it back towards your face. Breathing here. Good. Move the blocks, bring that foot back in. Frame the front foot with the hands, tuck the back toes, and sweep the left leg nice and high. Placing that leg down, you should be finishing in a downward facing dog. From here, look between the hands, maybe take them a bit wider. We're going to bend the knees and try and jump to seated all the way through. Cross the legs, sit down, maybe the legs come out the front. I know that one is tricky and you might have just fallen, but it's all good. Practice makes permanent. So, for seated, you may need blocks, but we will give you an option not to. We're going to move into Navasana boat pose. So a little bit of core work now. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall on those sit bones. Grab a hold behind your thighs. Slowly rock back. And then start to lift the legs. The knees are together, the feet are together. If that's okay for you, hands come out in front, palms facing upwards like you're holding dinner plates. Keep the chest nice and lifted. If you'd like more, lift the legs. I don't want more, so my legs are coming back. You can even keep a hold behind the thighs. We're breathing for 3, for 2, on 1. Cross the ankles, hands can come to bricks or the floor, and all you're going to do is lift the bum, maybe lift one leg, maybe lift the other, and sit back down. A little bit of core, a little bit of inner work happening there. We go for round 2, leaning back on the heels, lift the legs, hands come out in front, and we breathe. Suck in the lower belly, keeping the chest nice and lifted. 3, 2, embrace the shake, and 1. Crossing the ankles, grabbing those bricks again if you have them, if not the floor. Maybe just lifting the bum. Maybe lift one leg, maybe lift the other, and we sit back down. Good. 1 more round, I promise. So, hands come behind the legs, lifting them nice and high, and we breathe. Suck in that lower belly, lift the chest nice and high. 3, 2, 1.5, 1.25. Okay, that's me. And 1. Crossing the ankles, grab those bricks. Hands come on, lift the bum. Maybe lift one foot, maybe lift the other. And sit back down. Good, move the bricks to the side. We're gonna try yeah, we're going to try a little bit of arm balancing now. I'm going to try and teach you crow. So I'll just shift back in the camera there. So everyone can come to Malasana, which is a yogi squat. Legs come nice and wide. And you sit down. Elbows come inside knees. Your prayer comes to chest center. So you're pushing those knees out at the elbows. If this can't happen for you, feel free to lift the heels if that's available. And if you can't get down there, maybe placing something under the heels. Like so. These are a bit big, to be fair, but needs must. Okay, and sitting nice and tall, making the chest nice and proud. If you do not want to attempt crow, or you think that you may fall on your face, which is always an option, let's be honest, then stay here. This is really good for building up lots of flexibility, lots of strength in the hips, opening out. And if we can manage to sit in this position for longer than a minute, you're doing okay. So, for those who want to try, first option is place the hands on the mat, spread the fingers nice and wide. You're going to lift the bum nice and high, come up onto your tiptoes, and if it's available, place the knees in the armpits. You need to get nice and high. If that's not available, they can come to the outside of your arms. And what you're going to do is squeeze inwards. It's all about squeezing inwards and engaging basically your pelvic floor. The harder you squeeze, the easier you'll fly. Crow is not about, it's about balance really, and engaging that inner line. It's not really about strength, because as you can see, I'm like a limp noodle and I can still do it, so I'm sure you can all do it too. So be brave. And the biggest point I could say to you is to look forward, not down. Okay, a lot of people look straight down and that's where they're going to go. So you want to fly, you want to look forward. So placing the hands on the mat, grip the mat with all 10 of your fingers. Placing the knees as far up the arms into the armpits if we can. Squeeze inwards, start to lean forward. Lean forward, look forward. Maybe it's just one leg, maybe it's the other. Try and touch the toes to the bum. And then when you're done, sink back into Malasana. You can start to play with a bit of the arm balancing on your own. Maybe placing a towel in front of your face if that feels okay. And then you'll take flight. And that's crow. That's how easy it is. That's how you just need to take a bit of bravery and do it on your own time, facing those fears. Okay, from here, from Malasana, simply sit back and place the legs out in front. I won't torture you too much longer, don't worry. Okay, so always a good option in yoga if you're new or have really tight hamstrings is a yoga strap. You can use a t-shirt, okay, you can use a jumper, a towel, anything is really available to you. I'm going to work into those hamstrings a little bit more because I feel like it's necessary. Placing the legs out in front, flex the toes towards your face. Coming into Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold. You can take this posture active or passive. I like to teach it both ways because whether, as I said at the start, I'm not in your body, okay? I'm only here to guide you. So if you're having a bad day or you think you've got enough out of your yoga practice, maybe taking the passive is more beneficial to your practice. And I say that about every posture. If it's not going to serve you, then don't do it. But obviously we're on Insta Live, so give it a go. So I'm going to teach you active first. So you sit up nice and tall. You actually bring the feet in. We take those two peace fingers around the big toes, yogi lock, like we did at the start. And you're going to dig the heels in, dig the sit bones in until you sit nice and tall. Then, if it's available, start to walk the feet forward, keeping the chest in contact with the thighs. Do it again, dig down, sit up nice and tall. And then you move the feet forward, doing that a few more times until you get to a point where you can't straighten the legs and you have a really rounded back. That's not what we want. We want a nice flat back. So sitting up nice and tall, digging those heels in, pulling back on the toes, really making sure the chest shines proud. And then we hold that for 5 breaths. Then when you're done there, you simply fold over the legs. Now that's active. If you want to do passive, even sort of slightly active passive. Taking something around the feet. All you have to do is sit nice and tall in the sit bones and hinge from the hips. It's sort of like you pull in and up on the core and then slowly start to fold forward. Maybe it's here. Maybe you just sit here. But still keep the feet flexed towards your face. Maybe that's enough for you today. But we'll breathe here for 3 more breaths. Using a strap if you like. Passive you can have a rounded back if you desire. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slowly starting to come back up. Release the strap. Give the legs a bit of a shake. We're going to come into, Janushasana. Okay, so you've all seen this posture before. Bringing the right leg up, you slowly help it out to the side. The right sole of the foot comes to the inner thigh. The left leg is out in front. Sometimes I like to move at 45 degrees because that feels nicer on my leg, on my hips. But if not, keep it straight, flex the toes towards your face. Again, you can take active or passive. You can bend the knee and fold forward over the leg. The knee can be bent as much as possible, okay? Don't want you straining the hamstring here. We've worked into them quite a bit. So, bending through the knee, we sit up nice and tall. We inhale the hands overhead. And then as you exhale, folding forwards and down, grabbing hold of maybe the shin, maybe the ankle, or even the foot. If you're a little bit more flexy, you can grab a brick. This is a really big brick, but grabbing around the brick and slowly starting to work your way forehead to knee pose in Sanskrit. But we don't want to do that. Breathe in here. Remember sending any breath to the areas of tightness in the body. Good. Inhale to slowly come back up. Help the right knee into center first and then leave it to go out straight. Give it a little shake. Good. Bending up the left knee. Slowly pushing it out to the side. Left sole of the foot to inner right thigh. Flexing the bottom foot. You can bend the knee as much as you wish. Inhale, that hands overhead. And then exhale, folding forwards and down, grabbing hold of wherever you can. Maybe using the strap if you need it, or the shirt, jumper, whatever you're using. And simply letting go. Two more breaths. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold, maybe that bit deeper. Good. Slowly release the strap with your hands. And inhale, slowly rolling up. Bringing that knee into center first. And then placing it out in front. Now, sit this way so you can see. I'm going to work a little bit into our hips. Because as I said, they're an emotional center of the body. And at this time, we can really hold a lot of tension in those areas. So, grabbing hold of the right foot. You can come underneath the leg. And just slowly start to bring it towards the face. If that's too much, you can just hold the foot. And just circle through the hip joint. One way. And then the other. Just getting a nice sort of movement through the body. And then if you want more, now we can move towards this one. Moving backwards and forwards. If that feels good, it does feel good. We've been sitting around watching so much Netflix. If you'd like more, taking the foot to the inner crease of the elbow. Grabbing hands, move it around. And this is a bit of fun I learnt recently called compass. If you know what I'm going to do, then by all means. This leg comes underneath your shoulder. Okay, looks like that. You grab hold of the right foot with the left hand. Your right arm goes to the floor, and then you slowly start to rotate out, and then you're in compass. I learned this the other day, and I ended up looking at my friend Frank under my shoulder going, what the hell am I doing? Good, slowly bring it back in. Release the leg from the shoulder. Maybe sit it out straight and give it a little bit of a shake. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just keep cradling the leg, making sure I'm doing nice circles with the foot. Okay, left leg now. Maybe just cupping the foot, moving it round in the hip joint. Good. One way and the other. If you want more, you can put the hands underneath the leg and bring it towards your face. Should be feeling this in the glute, in the hip socket. Good. And then if you want more, placing the foot into the crease of the elbow. Moving around like that. One way, then the other. This is good just for neural flossing as well, getting that, basically flushing blood towards the hip joint so that we get more movement in it. Will make it easier for us to move in the future. So from here, if you want more, if not, keep cradling that leg. Placing the left over the shoulder, like so. Grabbing the left foot with the right hand. Left hand comes down. Start to extend the leg and start to look up underneath that right armpit. I know, it's so strange. For 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Slowly bring it back in. Release that. Maybe out in front. And give it a shake. So, one of our last postures, bringing the legs in, soles of the feet to touch. You open your toes out like a little foot box. I'm not sure if you can see that on the video, but basically you open them out. And as you can see, my hips are really tight, so my knees are quite high, and that's completely fine. If your knees are on the ground, kudos. Okay, one day I will get there too. But opening your feet out like a foot box, sit nice and tall, and then you can, if you want more, push the knees out with the elbows. But make sure you're maintaining a nice flat back. So we'll take this is the passive option, active option, and then we'll take the passive afterwards. So last little bit of hip work, and then I promise to release you. Good, slowly coming back up. Take the feet out in front of you, so you're in like a long diamond shape. And this is the passive, so all I simply want you to do is fold over the legs. If you want more, the hands can come underneath the legs and hold the feet. And simply breathe. Taking this moment to reap the benefits of your practice today. Even if you're only joined in for half of it, it's going to benefit you in the end, whatever you decide to do. Inhale to slowly come back up. And we'll finish off at about 15 minutes there today, crossing the ankles, sitting nice and tall, hands come to heart center. And slowly close the eyes down. It's been my absolute pleasure to take you through your practice today. I hope you've learned something, and if you have any comments or DMs or postures you'd like to learn, please don't hesitate to reach out. The light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste. Yay, we did it. Okay. Thanks, guys.